Mendocino Vino here, ready for wine number 4 of the Wine Folly Challenge, Albariño. As a reminder of what the Wine Folly Challenge is, I'll be tasting all 86 grapes and 14 wines featured in the Wine Folly Magnum Edition. I'll also be pairing them with a food that is known for pairing well with the wine. Now, something exciting that happened to me a couple weeks ago is I actually got to meet the author of this book, Madeline Pouquet, and she signed it. I got to meet her at an event down in Napa, and it was a really awesome time. She was just as cool in person as she seems on her videos. So I feel very, very lucky that I got to go down there and that I live in a place that's close to all these awesome different wine events. Today, I'm tasting Albariño, also known as the seafood lover's wine. Albariño is most found in the Iberian Peninsula of Spain, also known as Green Spain. And most of the Albariño wines actually come from Rías Baixas, which is one area of that Iberian Peninsula. It is right by the coast. It is very beautiful. They have a lot of great seafood there. And so it's unsurprising that this wine is most known for pairing well with seafood. This varietal was presumably brought to Spain by Cluny monks in the 12th century. And the area that it grows best in is one of the cooler, more rainy parts of Spain. I have actually never had these wines before. Although they are becoming more popular, I'm seeing them more on menus and out places, probably because it's known for being such a great food wine. As you can see, again, I have 2 bottles. So I have my 1 bottle from Rías Baixas and 1 bottle from California. So I can compare them side by side and see how the old world compares to the new world. In case you don't know what those terms mean, old world is Europe. So it's known as the Old World because they've been growing wine there for a long, long time. And New World is anywhere kind of outside of Europe. So the Americas, South America, North America, Australia, New Zealand, all those different places. A little bit more about these 2 wines. So here we have Burgans. This is a 2017 from Rías Baixas. Burgans is a cooperative. It's made for European cellars. It's about 600 different families in Rías Baixas. This is stainless steel aged, which again is pretty typical for Albariño. You don't really see a lot of oak on it. This is a 12.5% alcohol by volume, and also cost me $13.99, so about 14 bucks. So not too bad. And for my California wine, I have Dancing Coyote. So Dancing Coyote is a family-run and operated vineyard and winery in Clarksburg, which is in the Sacramento Delta. Apparently this family has been farming the Sacramento Delta for 5 generations, so they really know the area and have been there for a long time, which is always kind of neat. So it has really hot daytime temperatures, and then it cools down a lot at night because of the cool Pacific air coming in from the San Francisco area, and that allows the grapes to really ripen during the day but then stop ripening at night, so you have a longer hang time, giving a rich complexity to the wines. This is also a 2017, just like the Rías Baixas, and this bottle cost me $13.99. So actually these bottles were literally the same price, so the one from Spain and the one from Clarksburg. So the reason I opened this book up is so that I can have a white background to look against. If you don't really have a white background, it can be hard to see the color of the wine. I'd say pale golden color for the one from Spain. Yeah, I would say pale gold or pale yellow on this. For the wine from California, almost identical color, maybe a little bit more green in it. Just like a touch, but yeah, also pale golden, and also very clear. So let's see what the smell is on these wines. Apples and peaches. Yeah, it's mostly what I'm getting is a lot of peach, a lot of apple, a little bit of salinity, so a little bit of that sort of salty nose on it. Let's see how Dancing Coyote smells. Ooh, now that is a much more fruity nose. I get passion fruit from that, also peach, Also a little bit of apple, maybe a little bit of apricot. Yeah, peachy apricot passion fruit. It definitely has more of a tropical nose on it than the Spanish one. That smells great, actually. Wow, I'm excited to try this. So let's see how the Spanish Albariño tastes. Nice long finish, fruity. Yeah, it's definitely more, it's got some salinity to it. Nice and bright. Yeah, stone fruit, finishes with some salinity. Easy drinking, definitely. Like, this is definitely something I feel like I could have a whole glass of and be like, yeah, you know, have another one right now. A porch pounder, as they sometimes call them. All right, so let's try the California wine. I think it packs more of a punch on the nose than it does on the palate. Fruity, also has a lot of stone fruit on it. I would say this is kind of a cross between a peach and an apple, kind of a green apple flavors on it. A shorter finish than the Spanish wine, but I think a little bit more on fruit on it. But they actually taste very similar. I'm kind of surprised at how similar these two taste compared to the Aglianico, which were very different. So for my pairing today, I have some Spanish paprika fish, as the recipe is officially called online. So I can't really vouch for its authenticity, but to tell you a little bit more about this dish, it is primarily vinegar, paprika, and the fish itself. This is actually a locally caught rockfish from the coast in Fort Bragg. So I'm going to try this with these two different wines and see how they taste. Pairs wonderfully. Definitely recommend this. So there's almost a little bit of like a lemon note that's kind of in the wine that I didn't notice before, but when paired with the fish kind of is brought out. So you do have, like, you know, fish really needs a lot of acid with it, you know, like the lemon or the vinegar or something in that nature, and I really feel like this wine brings out kind of a lemon characteristic that just pairs beautifully with the fish. So I would definitely recommend these together. Really great pairing. So let's try the California wine with this. I think the California wine also pairs very nicely. It has a little bit more acid on it, and so again, I think that acid really enhances and improves the quality and the taste of the fish dish. So, but what I would say is that if you had to press me for which one I preferred how, I'd probably give the same answer that I gave with the Aglianico, where the California wine I prefer kind of as a sipping wine. I think it has a lot of really depth to its character, roundness, fullness, complex flavors in it, versus I think the Spanish wine, while also very tasty on its own, really nicely pairs with the fish. And so I think this is more of a food wine and this is more of a sipping wine, but both of them are delicious, both with the food and without the food. So I think this is a really great varietal that people should try more, and especially if they're going to be having some type of seafood dish, I would totally pick up a bottle of this and have it. So for my final thoughts on the matter, this Spanish wine is delicious. I think it's delicious both on its own and also paired with food, but I do actually think that pairing it with food brings out some qualities that weren't there before, and I definitely recommend if you pick up a bottle of this, having some type of fin fish or shellfish and pairing it with this. The California wine, I'd say, is more of a sipping wine, a little bit rounder, more full, a little bit more of a punch to it. Still delicious, still goes great with this meal. Maybe it could actually even be paired with a slightly stronger fish dish. However, I would definitely recommend picking up either of these bottles, and I'm really happy I tried them. So I will say that this fourth outing of the Wine Folly Challenge was a success. This is Mendocino Vino. Chin chin. How does this drink wine? It is delicious. That's so good, and I love it. I don't actually let him drink wine. He is not old enough. He is only 4 years old.